outside its hometown had heard of suddenly becoming the most talked about disruptor in the global RV world. Picture their RVs so sleek, futuristic, and packed with features you'd expect from a tech company instead of an automaker rolling out of advanced factories with automated assembly lines. Smart control systems, AI assistants transforming layouts and interiors that feel more like luxury condos than vehicles. Now imagine these RVs selling for a fraction of what American and European brands charge. It sounds unbelievable, but it's exactly what's happening, and it's sending shockwaves across the industry. This tiny company is grabbing global attention not with marketing hype, but with innovations that people can actually see, touch, and use, innovations that Western brands simply weren't prepared for. In today's video, we diving deep into how this Chinese startup is crushing the RV market and rewriting the rules of mobile living. We're going to explore the weaknesses they spotted in traditional RV design, the technology advantage that lets them innovate at insane speeds, the clever pricing strategy that undercuts everyone else, and the viral social media presence that turned their vehicles into overnight sensations. You'll also see how they're gearing up to enter global markets, and why some of the biggest RV manufacturers in the West are now quietly worried. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how a company that started as an underdog has now become one of the most disruptive forces the RV world has seen in decades. For decades, the RV market has been dominated by American and European brands that built their reputation on durability and experience, but over time, many of these companies fell into a cycle of repeating the same old designs while raising prices every year. Consumers began to notice that despite paying more, they weren't getting real innovation, just recycled layouts, heavier builds, and outdated technology. A typical Western RV still uses systems and materials that haven't changed much in 10 or even 20 years, while digital features, automation, and smart controls remain optional upgrades instead of standard. Added to that, labor costs in the US and Europe keep climbing, supply chains are slow, and factories rely on older manual assembly methods. This results in RVs that are more expensive to build and far more expensive to buy. Younger buyers, especially millennials, want something modern, efficient, tech-integrated, and stylish, not bulky wood cabinets and old-school control panels. The traditional market simply wasn't keeping up with changing customer expectations. This growing frustration created a gap wide enough for a hungry, ambitious, tech-driven newcomer to jump into, and that's exactly where the Chinese startup entered the scene, offering features Western companies weren't even thinking about. The rise of this Chinese RV startup began with a simple but powerful observation. The outdoor travel lifestyle was exploding in China, yet the local RV options were outdated, overpriced, or imported at sky-high costs. The founders, who came from backgrounds in engineering, smart appliances, and automotive tech, saw a massive opportunity. Instead of copying Western RVs, they decided to reinvent them from the ground up using China's strongest advantage: rapid innovation and efficient manufacturing. The company started small, experimenting with modular design, lightweight materials, and digital systems, while rejecting the idea that RVs had to look boxy or old-fashioned. Their goal was clear: create a new generation of RVs that felt like high-tech apartments on wheels. In the early stages, they faced skepticism. Many believed Chinese RVs would never match Western quality. But the startup pushed forward, investing in automation, design labs, and software-driven manufacturing. They began integrating smart home technology from day one: touch panels, app control, voice commands, solar setups, and advanced battery systems. Within a few years, they weren't just catching up. They were building RVs with features Western brands had never attempted. By combining youthful ambition with China's fast-paced innovation culture, this startup positioned itself to disrupt the global RV market faster than anyone thought possible. What truly sets this Chinese startup apart is its obsession with technology. Instead of treating tech as an optional upgrade, they build it into the core of every RV. In their factories, robotics and automated systems assemble components with precision, reducing labor costs and minimizing human error. Their engineering teams blend automotive design with smart home innovation, resulting in RVs equipped with AI-powered control hubs that manage lighting, climate, battery health, water levels, and even slide out walls through a single touchscreen or phone app. While many Western RVs still rely on basic electrical setups, these models integrate high-capacity lithium batteries, rooftop solar arrays, fast-charging systems, induction kitchens, and low-power consumption appliances designed specifically for off-grid living. Materials are another advantage: lightweight composites, aluminum framing, and modular interior panels that reduce weight without sacrificing strength. This means better fuel efficiency, smoother driving, and more load capacity. The startup also uses data analytics to track how customers use their RVs, improving future models with real-world insights instead of guesswork. In short, they operate like a tech company that happens to build RVs, leveraging China's booming electronics ecosystem to incorporate features that Western manufacturers simply can't build cheaply or quickly. This technological edge is one of the main reasons they're accelerating past traditional competitors. One of the biggest reasons this startup is dominating the RV conversation is that their designs are extremely internet-friendly. The moment you open the door, everything inside looks like it was made for social media aesthetic lighting. Futuristic panels, hidden storage compartments, transforming beds, expanding walls, panoramic windows, and minimalist interiors that resemble modern apartments rather than campers. Short videos showcasing these features exploded on TikTok, Douyin, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram. Clips of a tiny RV unfolding into a spacious, luxurious living area instantly grab attention, and viewers often comment, "Why don't American RVs look like this?" Their marketing strategy is simple: let the product show off. They invite influencers, travelers, and content creators to test the RVs and showcase the features online. Even single viral clips like a bed dropping from the ceiling or a kitchen sliding out automatically generate millions of views. Younger buyers, especially those who value experiences over possessions, see these RVs as lifestyle statements. They're sleek, modern, and packed with clever surprises. Unlike traditional RVs that feel outdated on camera, these models look like futuristic smart homes. This natural virality gives the startup enormous free exposure, fueling demand not only inside China but globally. The brand didn't need massive advertising, they just needed people to see it. Perhaps the biggest disruptor of all is the company's pricing. Their RVs often cost 30 to 50% less than similar American or European models. And this isn't because they're cutting corners, it's because their entire manufacturing ecosystem is built for efficiency. China has one of the strongest supply chains in the world, meaning materials, electronics, and components are produced locally at scale, reducing costs dramatically. The startup also uses vertical integration. Instead of buying parts from dozens of suppliers, they build many components in-house. Cabinets, frames, electrical systems, and tech modules are all created under the same roof, which eliminates shipping fees, delays, and markups. Automated production also reduces labor costs, and advanced software streamlines everything from inventory to assembly. Meanwhile, Western RV manufacturers are dealing with expensive labor, imported materials, and slower production cycles, all of which drive up final prices. With the Chinese startup, customers aren't paying for brand prestige or outdated factories. They're paying for innovation delivered efficiently and affordably. The timing of this startup couldn't have been better. China's domestic tourism has been booming, and more young families and retirees are embracing road trips, camping, and outdoor lifestyle trends. The pandemic accelerated this shift even more, pushing millions towards self-contained travel options. But the Chinese RV market was still young, underdeveloped, and filled with outdated models that didn't match the tastes of modern consumers. This startup recognized that Chinese buyers wanted something compact, stylish, and smart, something that felt like a modern apartment, not an old-fashioned RV. They also understood that space is critical in China, so they mastered the art of multifunctional, space-saving engineering. Sofas convert into beds, walls slide open, tables fold away, and every corner has hidden storage. This design thinking mirrors the efficiency seen in small Chinese apartments. The result? Massive domestic interest. Dealerships saw huge increases in foot traffic, pre-orders filled up, and waitlists grew. Social media influencers began showcasing road trips in these RVs, which inspired more people to adopt the lifestyle. What began as a niche hobby quickly became a cultural trend. The startup didn't just enter an existing market, they helped expand it, becoming the go-to brand for China's new generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Now that the company has dominated its home market, it's setting its sights on the world. Their global expansion strategy is surprisingly smart. Instead of immediately jumping into markets like the US, they're starting with regions that have fewer regulatory hurdles: Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Europe. This allows them to learn, adapt, and refine their export models. They are developing RVs that meet international safety standards and working with foreign dealerships to build service networks before launching full-scale sales. They understand that global customers might have different preferences. So they offer multiple versions: left-hand and right-hand drive, hot and cold climate insulation, and even custom battery systems. Their social media presence also acts as a global marketing machine. People around the world already know the brand even before it enters their local market. The company is also exploring partnerships with rental companies, which would allow travelers to test the RVs without buying them first. By entering the global market in stages, the startup avoids overwhelming logistics while ensuring a stable supply chain. Their long-term goal is clear: become a worldwide leader in smart, affordable, innovative RVs, and if current trends continue, they're well on their way. Traditional RV companies are beginning to feel the impact. Some are rushing to modernize their designs, adding larger windows, newer materials, or smarter control systems. Others are lowering prices or offering entry-level models to compete. But many still face major challenges: slow production cycles, outdated factories, rising labor costs, and a lack of tech integration. The Chinese startup's ability to innovate rapidly creates a widening gap that Western companies are struggling to close. There's also a cultural shift happening. Younger buyers want RVs that feel fresh, modern, and tech-savvy, not something that looks like it belongs in the 1990s. Unless Western brands overhaul their approach, they risk being left behind. On top of that, global consumers are becoming more comfortable buying Chinese-made vehicles, especially as electric cars and smart appliances from China prove their reliability. The only major barrier that could slow the disruption is politics, tariffs, import restrictions, and certification rules. But even with these challenges, the momentum is clear. This startup has redefined what an RV can be, and the world is watching. If Western brands don't evolve quickly, this Chinese disruptor might shape the next decade of the RV industry almost single-handedly. As we wrap up this deep dive, one thing is clear. This Chinese startup isn't just competing in the RV market, it is completely redefining it. By combining advanced technology, bold design, and shockingly affordable pricing, they've exposed weaknesses that the traditional industry ignored for far too long. They've shown that RVs can be smarter, cleaner, more efficient, and more exciting without costing a fortune, and that innovation doesn't have to move slowly just because it always has. Whether you love or fear this disruption, there's no denying that a new global shift is already happening. Western brands are being pushed to evolve. Customers are demanding more, and the future of mobile living is being shaped right now in a place few expected. The real question is whether this startup will keep rising. It asks how far and how fast they'll go from here. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the future of RVs, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which company or country you want me to explore next.